And we're back with Cage Chronicles, episode 5. My male partners are not here today. We have some female fighters, guest fighters in today. We've got Ren, the Hands of Stone Hanley. That's not a fight name, but...
No, fight name's still pending.
Yeah, and Courtney, No Mercy, Unless You Tickle Her, Martin. How are we doing, guys?
Why are you giving away my weaknesses?
How are we doing? We good?
Yeah, good, thank you. Bit warm, but all right.
It's a little bit warm today. We've had a bit of a busy end of last year. We've had the Gamma. You've joined me in World Championships.
Yes.
We just finished the scholarships. We want to chat about that today. And then obviously you had your boxing, you had your debut, plus you had your boxing big fight on the Tim Tszyu card. And then we've got a big MMA fight coming up as well, so we want to discuss that. So I want to talk first about Gamma. We talked about that with Kev and James last time. Mm-hmm. But how was the experience for you, Ren?
The experience was amazing, and because we all did Gamma in New Zealand first, I thought I knew what to expect, but it was very much exceeding my expectations, to be honest, in terms of like the way that it was set up, the atmosphere with all of the other fighters and things like that. The fights themselves were such wars, like all of them I feel like were like really, really intense. So I loved it. The opportunity to go to a different country as well, which was like so cool. I've never been to Bangkok. I've been to Thailand before. So yeah, I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and you know something about that as well, Courtney, with your former world champion over there. She did the first one in Singapore, and then we've had the one in Amsterdam, and then the last one was in Bangkok.
In Bangkok,
I think the Worlds is like run pretty well considering. I think it's really good.
Yeah.
How it's done. How was it for you when you first did it?
Oh, it was great. Like, it was so well run. You could just see like the smoothness of it all and the amount of like financial backing they have. When we went to like New Zealand, the Oceanic Championship and the smaller ones, it really was an eye-opener, just like seeing the difference in the production.
Yeah.
So when it comes to Worlds, like it's always like
exciting.
a good show. Yeah, it's like you can feel the atmosphere, like the tension. You can just see like the amount of like hard work they've put into like making it a big promotion and making it a big deal.
Yeah.
So then you feel like it's a big deal and you want to like put on a show, you know?
Yeah.
So like that's a really good like motivation for you as an athlete going into there being like, wow.
I know. I reckon that was probably the most nervous I'd ever been for a fight. I was literally like shaking, trying to get under the ropes and stuff like that. I was trying to obviously like really keep my cool. But I think you said it actually on the last podcast, just before we went out to fight, we saw the most amazing head kick knockout.
Oh, you didn't see it, did you?
No, I saw her on the ground,
not
moving afterwards.
You just saw my reaction. I went, oh shit. And she was like, what? I was like, nothing. And there's like someone laying on the floor. I was like, the next ring across, there's like 3 rings in a row. So
yeah, and then like I think it was like Kev or like my brother Chris were like trying to stand in front of me, so like I couldn't see it, but like that girl was like not moving, and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm about to go in and do this. Yeah. What am I doing? But
it's like the first Singapore World Championship. We were all like, we just saw this amazing knockout, which was just intense, one of the most like intense knockouts I've ever seen, and the guy didn't move for 5 minutes. So we're all standing there like, did we just witness a murder?
Yeah.
Is this what we've signed up for? What have we got ourselves into?
He wasn't moving. It was a guy. Is he from Kazakhstan or something?
I think so.
But he hit the guy with the right hand.
Yeah.
The guy like got knocked out and fell forward. Before he hit the ground, he suplexed him on his head. It was insane, and he wasn't moving. He wasn't moving for a good 10 minutes.
So he like knocked out, fell into the guy, and the guy picked him up.
Yeah, so he saw it hit him, and the guy fell forward. He spun on the back and suplexed him on his head. And then at first everyone was like, whoa, that's so crazy. And then he wasn't moving, so everyone starts like going, oh God, we've just witnessed a murder. It was like insane. But he was all right in the end, I think. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
But it's always good. I think it's really cool in the hotel where you've got all the different nationalities walking around, and you're looking at someone about the same size as you, edging them up, like
sizing them up.
What weight are you? Yeah, and I wonder if they're in your weight category.
You're in the elevator of like, and then the whole team walks in. They're all just staring at you, and you're trying to be nice, but you know that they're like sussing you out, and they're like, "Oh, what weight are you fighting at?" They asked Kev a few times what weight he was fighting at as well, and like you even like things like going down to dinner and stuff like that. There'll be teams like running laps around like the hotel floor, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh my god, should we be doing that?
Yeah.
Are we not taking this as seriously as they are? It's just really interesting how everyone trains and things like that.
Yeah, and when we were going over for the initial one, you fought like a lot of girls, but you made like a heap of good friends over there, didn't you? Like you were still in touch with now.
Yeah,
so like that's what's really cool about it as well. Like everyone's
I'm on day 602 of my French Duolingo streak.
One of the French
because
girls
of
that she
being
fought.
at Gamma in Singapore.
Stop it! What?
I still can't speak any French though. I can
Bonjour.
read. I can read a little bit.
You've been doing
Can't
it for
speak it.
You've been doing it for 2 years
and 2 days. Yeah,
and you got nothing.
I got nothing.
Parlez-vous français, like nothing.
Ça va? Oh my word! I'd get your money back. I'd get your money back.
It just frees up. I can't. You put me on the spot. I can't do it. But if you
Je
were to write this
m'appelle
out,
Courtney.
I think I could write it. Like I could. Yep.
That's so much harder.
Yeah. I don't. It's like a flex.
It
Like
is a flex.
600 of them 2 days. But then it really is.
You have to really remember some of it,
See
though,
how
that's the
bad I
thing.
am.
It's a
But
flex.
that was because I made friends with like some of the French team, and I was like, yeah, we're going to train one day together, and I need to be able to speak French, and it's not going well.
It's not going well. No. The girl who got knocked out in Bangkok, she was French.
Oh,
we
she?
were actually sitting next to each other before we fought, and we were like chatting and stuff. And I was like, "Oh, so like, if you win your fight and I win my fight, we'll end up like fighting each other.
Yeah.
How great!" And she was like, "Yeah, awesome." And then we both lost, and
Well, I don't know if you lost.
far out.
I would say it
know.
was. You thought you'd win as well, didn't you? at the end?
If you watch the watch the video, I think when they like raised the other girl's hand, I like snapped my head back to look at you because I was a little bit like.
So in the one in
come on.
Singapore where we were over with Courtney, there was 2 Chinese there competing. There was an issue with visas and stuff, and there were 2 amateur fighters.
You had
and
to
I ended up
coach.
coaching them, but this time there was 20 pro Chinese fighters, and they were all like well experienced.
They were not messing
like
around.
your girl had fought Valentina Shevchenkov in kickboxing previously, and her list was like this of fights.
Yeah,
the fact that you went in with her and then took it to her was amazing.
That was nuts. She fought who's that other? I think she's an Irish chick in the UFC at the moment. Shauna.
Yeah,
I've forgotten her last name, but she fought her as well.
I know.
Before they in the UFC. So
yeah, that's what's
Not
cool about
bad.
it. You don't know who you're going to go against, and you just go in there and do it and have a fight.
Yeah.
So
It's
it's just about
I
experience.
think the best part about that as well is like you can't prepare. Like
No.
you can't be like, all right, this is her game plan. This is what I know she's going to do.
Yeah.
You just have to go in believing in your own abilities. Like believe in your own game plan and just put it to play.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
then adapt as you go. Like it's a really different learning experience in comparison to having like a 6-week fight camp where you're like, this is
Watching
what my girl's going to
footage.
be good at. So I
Yeah.
need to watch this. I need to be careful for this. I need to like be able to defend this way.
You've
You're
got
going
no
in blind.
idea.
You're just like, all right, well, I'm kind of good at this and I'm kind of good at that. Let's just
I'll give it
try
a
our
hot
best.
crack. That's
Yeah.
me. Give it a hot crack, 100%. And even in that fight, like we thought, we did like watch a little bit on the bus, and we're like, oh, she's gonna wrestle, and then it was a boxing fight.
Didn't want to wrestle at all.
No,
she was pulling away, like not doing
No,
anything.
it was very frustrating, to be honest.
But I think a good
yeah.
experience. Good experience. I mean, like, if you can handle that, you can handle most things in the amateur scene.
Yeah, that's good.
But you hurt your hand, didn't you, on the fight?
Did I? No.
You're just not. Shouldn't. You're not really holding your left hand up very high. So.
Wow. Thanks,
Oh yeah.
Steve.
Oh, look at this.
Oh,
Look at this bad boy.
That
Yeah.
was such a good prelude. Well done.
There you
Yes,
go.
my left hand is a little heavier now than what it used to be.
What's that from? What's this?
This is a present from another coach.
Yeah?
Yeah, Kev.
I don't agree with in-house relationships.
This is why I'm going far in fighting. I've got the advantage. But no, Kev did a really good job. And after the fights and everything, we spent a week and a half or so in Phuket, training at Bang Tao and just eating food and relaxing. And one day he decided to start shadow sparring sparring me, on the beach. And I was like, "What are you doing? Like, are you about to throw sand at me?" Because he had like a hand bar, he had a hand bar on his back, and I was like, "This is something that Kev would do."
Yeah.
And then did that, good old left body kick that you like so much, and he dropped on a knee and popped out a ring. So it was very, very
cute.
beautiful. It was a good little holiday. I loved it. That was my highlight.
Wicked. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Very good. And we've just come to the end of your scholarship. So we had like a 1-year scholarship for supposed to be one athlete from the gym or someone from outside the gym who would get free training for a year.
Yeah.
And because there was so many good people, we ended up getting 2. We gave 2 away, 1 to a male winner and a female winner as well. And then could you just tell us a bit about the scholarship itself, because we are doing a new one coming up, and also what you've got out of it and what you've done this year with it.
Yeah, cool. So the scholarship is a fantastic idea. And so basically what happened was we had a day of tryouts. Everyone had to register beforehand. So it was very real life in terms of we all had a little meeting beforehand where we got like some interviews with Robin, and you like laid out the laws, you laid out like the expectations and stuff like that. We had to be, I can't remember if you actually told us the location in that meeting or if you told us on the day.
On the day.
On the day where the location was. So like our first session was at Whitford's Nodes, and it was this. Oh, am I allowed to swear on this?
Yeah, we want.
It was this fucked up workout.
Oh, we're gonna lose our sponsors now.
No, it was so intense. It was this AMRAP. I think it was literally only a 30-minute AMRAP, but we're in January. It was hot. We had to go up the stairs, down the stairs, do some stupid ass push-up things with claps and stuff, and then like do some like really ridiculous like sit-up things. And it was just go through as many rounds as possible. And then so that was so much fun. I absolutely yacked.
Was it fun?
It was. I really enjoy that stuff because I end up quite hysterical if I'm working hard. Like in terms of just, it's true. Like just that's what I mean. When everyone trains with me, it's an experience for all because I end up just being like, oh my gosh, this is so intense, and I love it. And then so that was great. And then we had probably like an hour and a half break, and then we had to meet at the gym for an undisclosed amount of rounds, which was also really, really intense. So we had pads going with all the coaches, everyone helping out. Like, I remember, like, I went on a round with you and, like, I think you were just abusing me and just, like, whacking me with the pads and stuff. I went on a round with Cam and it was, like, the first round. So I was like, oh, warm up. And I was like, 1, 2. And then he just swept me off my feet and I landed flat on my ass. It was, like, so intense. It was, like, 2 minutes of that, then, like, a minute rest and then, like, 2 minutes on the bag. And you just went forever until you said stop, which was really funny because like there was a stage, I don't know why, but I thought we were done and I started high-fiving people and then like people like pushed me over to the bags. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm still going. So I'm sorry, I went on a rant then, but that was the scholarship tryouts and it was like,
good because a lot of people dropped out.
Yeah, I'm talking about it really positively now because I'm a year on, so I've recovered from the trauma of it. But I got to go hell for leather because there were so many other people there. I think there was a fair few girls and obviously there were stacks of guys as well. Yeah. And, so I just went for my absolute life and I'm lucky I tried hard enough and worked hard enough. So I won the scholarship, was amazing. So then I've had this whole year to not be financially burdened by the fighter lifestyle in terms of like, you've got so much that you need to think about, your nutrition, your recovery, even your strength and conditioning and stuff. So it was really nice not to have that weight of like training on top. But from that, I've done jits comps, I've had 3 amateur fights now. I've done interclubs. I'm about to have my 4th amateur fight, and all of that is credit to the scholarship and being able to train.
That's a busy year. Like to get like, I mean, the only one who's beat that is Courtney. It's had like 12,000 fights in a year, but to get like 3 or 4 fights in a year is really good. Yeah, that's really good going. You know what I mean? Like you got and you got on the podium for that one. You've won the Oceania. Then you've gone to Worlds, like which is a big like scary thing to do.
That was very scary, and
now you're back to Eternal, which is on the same time and same show as our pro fighter Courtney. See that segue?
That was also really good. You're doing
pretty good. Yeah, no, that's really good. Experience. So you've been out the ring cage for a little while because nobody wants to fight yet. But and by the way, guys, we've just switched over to vodka instead of whiskey. Now these guys are fighting, so we're drinking water today, so we're not having the whiskey.
We are going to do another one after session. Yes, exactly.
Cage confessions after the fight. We'll get into it.
Post-fight drink podcast. I think
we'll see how funny that one goes.
Let the dogs in; it'll just be
chaos.
So how are you feeling about getting back in the cage?
I can't wait.
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming. I definitely think the last few months of last year were a just absolute roller coaster of emotions, like with just consistent opponent pullouts, fight pullouts, just like, oh, this is going to happen, no, this is going to happen, oh, this might happen or may not. It was just a lot, but at that point my training was sick. I was so consistent, and and I was feeling like I was making like some real decent improvements. And then, everything kind of got like the rug got pulled out from underneath me, and it was like, well, none of this is happening, which sucks. But like, it's part of fighting. Like, you're always going to get fights fall through. And I think it's unfortunately a little bit more. It does happen a bit more with females, I think, because at the end of the day, it's harder for us to find new opponents. Yeah. So when it happens with males, it's like, oh, it's fine because we'll have this guy jump in. But it's like when our pool's a bit smaller, you can't have that like last minute change of opponent and it'll work. It's more like, oh, if this opponent pulls out, well,
that's it. Especially with the pros as well.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I was going to say. I think the amateurs, like, there's a bigger pool, and it seems to be like a lot of the female fighters don't go pro, or it takes them a while, and then when they do go pro, they're very picky who they fight. You know what I mean?
I think it's also because we do have a lot more opportunity in terms of if we go pro and we have a good record for the first maybe 2 or 3 fights. We've had this conversation before. It's easier for us to then find international opponents because the like worldwide pool is smaller. So like you can go to these like international shows. So when you do go pro, it's hard to find Australian opponents that are willing to stay in Australia because like you might miss out on one, next minute they've already had another fight and they're like, well, I'm going international now. And it's just part of the game, I guess. Like it's where the demand is. And if you can make it international, that's like your main goal. So you want to do that. But at the end of the day, I'm sitting here like, someone fight me.
And you've already been international as well. It's not like your resume is like lacking or anything like that. Like I thought like if I was a pro, I'd be like, I want to fight Courtney because like she's been international, and like if I was like the other person, I'd be like, if I can beat Courtney and she's like fought in I can't say it. I'm sorry.
No, it wasn't. It was in Singapore for the one championship. Yeah.
No, but didn't you have a one championship?
Yeah, Singapore.
Oh, in Singapore as well.
So do different the locations and that.
Yeah. Nicer probably in Singapore. But anyways, like as a fighter, I'd be like, oh, if I can like get like Courtney as like a loss and I can like take that as a win, then I'm more likely to go further in my career. I don't know. I would have.
This is what we're setting up very soon. So we're building you up. Then you're gonna fight.
F no.
I think there's a few ways of looking at it. Like, I had my first pro fight on one championship, which obviously didn't go my way. But because from then on, like my second pro fight, I lost by decision as well. So my record's not great. My pro record is not great. So a lot of the time,
to fight,
you've got that. You've got the girls that would be like, oh, sick, she's got a shit record. Let's take her so that I can pad my own. But then you got the other girls that are like, why would I want to fight and not want to? And I completely get it because like I want the challenge. Like I want a challenging opponent. And if you look at me on paper, it's like, well, why would you choose me? Like, if you want someone that's challenging, looking at just the data, it's like, well,
no, but they're not going to look at that. They're going to look at your fights, realize that your basically amateur record was like unblemished, other than that one, and then you've had the 2 pro fights, which is 2 weeks' notice on one championship against the weight above against Colby Northcote, which you were like winning until you got caught with the armbar, and then the second fight, which you beat her twice already, and then you beat her a third time, but couldn't get the decision. You know what I mean?
We're getting a bit political.
I'm just saying. It's annoying, but it is what it is. But we're getting the cage again, and hopefully we'll get another one after this one straight away as well.
Yeah,
because the girl you're going against is from Volk's gym.
Yeah.
So it'll be she'll be ready and she's challenging. It looks like she's a good girl to go against. You know, it'll be a challenge.
I'm so excited. Like that's it. Like I said, I don't want easy fights. You want challenging fights because. The easy fights, what do you learn from it? Like, you come away and you're like, I might have won that, but like,
you don't feel too like
now what? Yeah.
Exactly.
You want the challenging ones where you can like leave the cage, the ring, whatever, and go back and be like, all right, well, this didn't work because of this, so I want to work on this weakness so that I can improve that. So the next time I go in to fight someone, they're not going to be like, oh, I saw what didn't work there. I'm going to use that because I'll be like, cool. Do it and then see what happens.
And I know I've been in this situation before. Like I know what.
Yeah, you want to be able to grow, and challenging opponents make you grow. But also, like you never perform well unless you're being challenged.
That's true. Yeah,
your best performances are going to be against people that are pushing and challenging you. Yeah. So if you can leave the ring and be like, "That was so fun. That was sick. That was like great," regardless win or lose.
That's
like
awesome.
That's a win in my book.
Yeah. Are you excited to fight in Perth?
Oh, so excited!
Because it's been a minute for you to obviously obviously be in Perth as well. Like even your
like
boxing
a
fight,
year and a half now, I think it's been since I've fought in Perth. So.
Thunderdome, was your last one,
Yeah, because you had your pro boxing debut at Thunderdome, and then you got a fight on Tim Tszyu card, like a massive card. What do you reckon? Which do you think is easier or harder, or what's the differences? Do you think with the pro boxing, and then the pro MMA? Obviously, there's a lot of differences in the sports, but like anything else other than that?
I think the preparation is very different. Like when I take on a boxing fight, I'm not gonna still do my MMA. I'm not gonna still do my jiu-jitsu, which might sound counterproductive because MMA is my main goal, and I want to use these like fights to better MMA. But at the end of the day, if I'm using my time and spreading it out between jiu-jitsu, boxing, Muay Thai like I normally would, and just putting a little bit more emphasis on boxing, at the same time my opponent's spending 4 hours a day boxing. You know what I mean? Like if I am going up against a girl like Chanel Dargan, who her whole life is dedicated to boxing, and she's an incredible boxer with an incredible experience and like wealth of knowledge. If I'm then looking at this as an MMA fighter, like this is just a growth opportunity, I'm never going to win this fight. So I need to be like, I'm going to look at this as a boxer. I need to take this on as a boxer. I need to get my boxing nice and crisp. I need to make sure my hands are tight and my footwork's there. Yeah, all of my other like conditioning and my fitness and my cardio stuff will be the same. But at the end of the day, if I split my time like I would for an MMA fight, I would never be able to even touch it. Like it just would never happen. So going into a boxing fight and a pro boxing fight, I need to look at that as a boxer. I need to think of myself as a boxer, not an MMA fighter trying my hand at boxing, because it just wouldn't work. But the like fight camps were like overall it's all very similar, but like the damage on my body, like not the damage, but like the toll it took on my body for a boxing fight camp was nothing compared to an MMA fight camp.
Oh, as in like injury free? Or
not even injuries, just like wrestling takes a toll on your body, like jiu-jitsu takes its toll on your body. When you're just doing boxing, that toll's like a little bit different. And
more CTE maybe.
Yeah, but 100%. Like a little bit more brain damage, but like...
With the boxing though, you do take a lot more trauma to the head.
100%.
It's a lot like, because obviously all the boxing's to the head, and you got body shots as well. But in MMA, you're not getting that smashed all the time. Just you're watching the boxing, the sparring when they're training for a fight. It's like it's a lot.
I like.
Did you ever wear headgear or anything?
Yeah. So I did a lot of sparring with a friend of mine, Sarah Higginson, who's a pro boxer, and she's incredible. Like she is amazing. She's smaller than me. She's in a whole different weight category than me, but she tees me up like no tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, I've sparred her before, and it was the most... I was so confused. I was so perplexed. I was like, bless her. But she is, was she 52 or is she even below that?
Yeah. So she walks around about 52 kilos. She fights at like 49,
she's
50.
Like chest height, and she's like riddling me. I'm like, how are you doing this? This is amazing. Like, so intense.
I was sparring her, I think, 3 times a week at one point in the lead up to, I think, my first Thunderdome fight. And it got to the point where I was about 3 weeks in, and my whole wardrobe was rotating around the darkest colour shirt because I was leaving with a busted nose every time. And I was like, I can't get the blood out of these white shirts anymore. I just need to prepare. I know what's going to happen. Just wear a dark shirt. And yeah, like, honest to God, every session I was leaving, driving home in the car, like, why am I doing this?
Crying on the way home.
I call my mum and she's like, how's your head feeling, honey? I'm like, not great. But like the knowledge that I got out of those sessions was incredible. Like it was so worth it. So yeah, like the toll it takes on your head to be a boxer, is definitely different.
But the body, I know what you mean with the body.
My body was feeling great. Oh, like my neck could move, like my back was
I think you can just like you work out your training a lot easier than MMA, because like you've got to fit so much stuff in. It's an absolute nightmare.
It can be. Yeah. What do you actually prefer, boxing or MMA?
Oh, MMA.
100%?
Yeah. 100%. But, like, I definitely have a love for boxing now, and, like, an appreciation, I guess, as well. Like, once you start sparring with these, like, specific boxes, you realize how
slick they are,
just like how little footwork we have. Our footwork is just so different. We have to be wide so that we can stuff takedowns. We have to be wide so we can check kicks. We have to be a bit wider so that we can throw our kicks nice and balanced. Whereas they could be side on, make themselves nice and small, and next minute they're in, they're out, they're behind you, they're next to you. You're like, how are you moving this quickly?
Oh, because you're fighting two people at once.
It feels like
they just looked like two people because I'd been hit too many times.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back and we'll have some questions from our fans. All right, and we're back. We're gonna look at some questions from our social media. So I'll put on that you guys are going to be on today. We just said, what do you want to ask them? And there've been a few questions come through. So I thought we'll cover that stuff next, and then we'll talk about some bits to finish off with. So the first question was, what do their diets/supplement intake look like? So when you're, I suppose, training or when you're looking for a fight, just a bit of a breakdown and what things you're looking at and what you want to take and eat.
You're looking at me. Okay, cool. So it's always different depending on like where you are in your fight camp. Like if you're just training and you haven't got a fight coming up, I think it would be quite similar to what like a normal athlete would eat in terms of you have to fuel your training and that's about it. It's only really when it gets into the fight camp and you're worrying about your weight, trying to cut down, that you start really looking at things like your carb intake, how much protein you're having and how much fats. Like it's always important, but I feel like I really tune into that and start using MyFitnessPal and start re-looking at like...
So that's one of the apps,
Yeah, so MyFitnessPal's, I think, like heaven for if you're in fight camp and you're hungry and you need to know how much calories are in this protein bar, or like you're trying to just keep track of it all. I use MyFitnessPal a lot. They just charged me for a year's membership, which is like $100 and something. But anyways, ouch. So something that I would always do is just supplements. So every single day. So you've got your glucosamine for, oh my gosh, I'm being put on the spot, for your muscles and your joints and things like that. You've got your vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin C and zinc. I'm trying to think about what else I take. I feel like that's probably the main ones. I take collagen as well, because that's for your ligaments, not the beauty collagen. That is useless. Don't use that. Use Tenderfoot collagen, because that's actually for...
I use the beauty one every day.
It doesn't work, does it?
Can't you tell with his luscious lock?
I'm 75 years old.
No wrinkles.
Yeah, clearly. But no, in terms of diet, I think honestly the first thing that I would say to anyone who's in a fight camp or anything is actually go to a dietitian, because you can do it on your own, but we hear stories in the gym. I was in like my fight week and I'm eating apples, and you're just like,
I hate it so much. I said, you've been doing the eating right, and they're going, yeah, what have you had today? And this is like 5 at night before training. I've had an apple. Well, I had half the apple, but then I'm like, what? What the hell? You obviously don't know what you're doing. Like, it's absolutely insanity. Did you guys stick to like calories, particular a set of calories that you'd have every day, or is it more just a set meals you're going to have?
So I go through a dietitian, because I think I did 2 fights by myself, and honestly, the mental calisthenics I was doing, trying to think about, like, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the wrong thing? Overthinking it, trying to research myself. I am not educated enough to know any of this. Like, I don't know. And it was just stressing me out so much that I was just like, I need to pay someone to tell me what to do. So I go to Daniel England, and he's worked with me for a long time. We've worked for years. And basically, we stick to calories, and then he'll kind of just adjust my carbs. So my fats and my proteins will normally stay fairly similar. My fats will adjust if my carbs go down.
And your fats will increase?
If we're going really low on carbs, my fats will like increase a little bit. But mainly the two that changes are my carb intake and my calorie intake. And our main goal outside of fight camp is to push my calories to as high as possible whilst maintaining the same weight. So over the years, we've been able to like get to a point where we found my maintenance calories, and then we've slowly pushed them up so that when I do jump into a fight camp and we have to start adjusting so that I can drop weight, it's easier to drop weight on more calories than what I was on like a year ago. So
that's
like
really cool.
Until really recently, I was on like nearly 3,000 calories. So jumping into this fight camp,
that would be before the fight camp. Or
no, it was still during the fight camp.
That was during till what week?
I think 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago,
and then we started dropping.
What you on now? So what were we now?
Like
are we 3 weeks out?
We're 3 weeks out.
And what you on now?
I think I'm on like 2,400.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty good.
Still
but again, you're talking to a lot of people, don't know what they're doing, and they're like weeks and weeks out, and they go, I'm doing 1,200 calories, and you're trying to hit the pads, and you do a round. I'm like, what's the matter with you? And they're like, oh, this is what I'm eating and drinking. I'm like, this is insanity.
You got no energy.
No.
You can't do it. And you're going to break. Like, if you think about your recovery hierarchy, like, number one's nutrition, number two's, like, sleep, or it might be the other way around. I can never remember. But, like, those are your two main factors in recovery. If you're not getting enough in your nutrition, but you're pushing that red line in your fight camp, you're just going to break. Like,
absolutely. And it's very intricate, like, what do you do with your nutrition? Oh, there's so much in terms of, like, yes, the supplements that we take, it's probably the same as every other person who's trying to be fit and staying healthy. There's nothing really special that's going to make us a better MMA fighter.
Yeah, like, look, I don't really do much in terms of like fitness supplements. Like, I don't do a lot. I don't do BCAAs. I don't do that. Like any pre-workout stuff.
Creatine?
Like when I'm off fight camp, I do.
Interesting.
Yeah, look, my body doesn't respond very well to creatine.
What was the interesting thing?
Because you're like,
really?
That's a point.
Look, I know. Research states that like how important it is, especially for fighters. Like, it's amazing for our brain health and like being able to take hits and stuff. But my body doesn't respond very well, and I get backaches really quickly. Like, my kidneys aren't able to flush it very well. So as soon as I increase that intensity in training, especially if I'm maybe not hydrating enough on that day, like, I can't sleep because my like kidneys are screaming. I should.
That's interesting.
Like, I know there's probably ways around it, but it's just one less thing to stress about. So
and
out of fight
so
camp
different.
I will. In fight camp I won't. It's not a weight thing. For me, I think I don't see it fluctuate my weight too much. I don't feel like I retain too much fluid on it. So it's not a weight thing in fight camps. It's more my body just doesn't feel like it copes well with it.
I just find it interesting because, like, before a training session for me, I'll have a little drink with, like, Barocca, where we'll have beta-alanine and creatine and mix it all together. And I've never noticed an issue. So it really is just dependent on the individual. And then when we talk about nutrition, I suppose hopefully lots of people know what macros are, and that's just what we manipulate. Like, it's nothing super fancy or anything like that. And, it's mainly fight week that we do all the tough stuff, I think. Yeah,
I've got a pretty strict, like, 10-day out protocol that I follow on fight week, and I can drop pretty quickly off of that, and that's just manipulation of fiber content, salt content, carb content, and then your your water
load.
Hydration.
And your water load.
So you hear the stories in the gym of like, oh, it's fight week, I've been eating apples, or like, oh, it's fight week, like I had like heaps of carrot sticks, tuna, like carrot sticks and things like that.
But again, if you don't know, you don't know. When I was fighting back in the UK, my coach had even less idea, and I just done nutrition because nobody did. You know what I mean? So everyone was just like winging it themselves, and you're doing stuff which are crazy, and you're killing yourself. You know, so you need to have a good education. And that, again, to see a good nutritionist is brilliant, because I know I have an idea and I've got experience now, but I'm not a nutritionist. You know what I mean? Like that's his sort of realm. So that's what you want to be going to see.
Yeah, definitely.
What's your thoughts on like honey before training?
This is a great example of fueling for your training. I've had background. I've had a very busy week. Kev and I have one carb.
You need to have your snacks before, because you get really grumpy if you don't have your snacks.
I'm so grumpy. And look, like I said, hectic.
To be
week.
fair, like the other day, you were coming in for the fighter training to go for a run, and you turned up and I went, oh, you got your stuff for running? Oh yeah, I just got to go and get some snacks. And I was like, what, you haven't eaten? I said, oh, okay. And then you went off, and then like 20 minutes later came back, and I was like, what happened? I get me snacks, dude.
Oh,
but you tried the honey, didn't you?
I did.
Bryony sort of suggested it, yeah.
So, long story short, I have been under-fueling myself recently, which is not good for fighting, and I'm trying to obviously ramp it up for this fight camp. And so, because of that, I've been feeling super fatigued and super faint, and we've been training for like 2 hours minimum. So, I've been for my run, and I'm like halfway...
Wait, did you go for your run?
I went for my run this time. I did. Yeah. The only reason... Saving myself here for everyone at home. The only reason why I was late was because I went to Nutrition Warehouse to get a carb snack to fuel my training, and they're like, oh, we've only got no sugar options. So then I had to go to the servo and grab like a chocolate bar and...
So you're in a safe space.
I feel so attacked. Safe space, yeah, exactly. But anyway, so... yeah, I was dying in training and, like, just not doing well. And then because of that, obviously my spars were getting worse and you're getting frustrated and stuff like that. And then Bryony rips out, like, a pot of honey. And she's just like, just squirt this into your mouth. And this is... I can't remember if my nose was bleeding yet or not, but like this is
I think
in
this
the
was
midst
before,
of it.
yeah.
I'm like, and I struggle with things in my mouth. Like, I had to get a custom. I had to get a custom like mouth guard because I used to, you know,
I remember.
I used to yak all the time because it was just and then I had to put hot sticky honey in my mouth and then try and swallow it with a mouth guard in because my hands were taped. It was...
I'm going to save this for the confession.
It was an experience, but to be fair, the second...
It worked?
I was going to say, the purpose of this conversation is carbs, quick carbs. It did work. I think we had 3 more rounds to go.
Gives you a bit of energy. Yeah.
We had clinch. That's what it was.
And you started to smash the clinch.
And I clearly smashed the clinch because I know everything about clinch. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
All right, so that was the first question.
I butchered that.
They're definitely going to use those audio bites.
All right, so this is the one...
Put it on the Wolves Den OnlyFans.
This is one in particular for you guys. I won't be answering it. How do they plan / perform with training around their menstrual cycles and manage weight, etc.?
You can start.
Okay, so... this is it's a pretty hard question. Look, I've been in the gym. Just so you're aware, we're coming up to my 10-year anniversary at the gym.
Nice.
So I've been in the gym and I've been training around this for a while and through different like points in my life. So points where I'd be on contraceptive and hormone hormone medications and stuff, to points where I'm on nothing, and then also getting older affects your cycle as well. So I have found like over the last few years my periods have been getting a lot worse. My cramps and symptoms have been getting a lot worse. So it has been getting harder to navigate. Initially it was just a suck it up, get through it, doesn't matter, just figure it out. You do see your weight does fluctuate. Like coming into my period, I think maybe the week before, I normally start retaining some weight. I can go up about 1 kilo to 1.5 kilos.
Yeah.
And then once I get my period, maybe 2 days later, it just drops off. Like I can lose 1 kilo in a day easy.
Yeah.
I think I've just gotten to the point where I've just got to be kind to myself. So I know a lot of women probably have like processes and routines that they use to navigate their cycle and how best to train. But I kind of just take it day by day. So obviously I've got my quota to fill for the week in my training. I know that. But if I know my period is coming up, there's normally at least one day where I have to be like, I just need to be kind. Yeah. Take those like expectations off myself a little bit and give myself time. Like if I need to drop one class, I need to drop one class. I know I'll make it up down the track. But that's just me. That's my experience. Because I know for like a good, like until maybe 2 years ago, my answer to that would just be like, just fucking deal with it. Toughen up. Just deal with it. And I think that's also fine. Like if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. But I also am on the other end of that spectrum now, where I am like, no, actually, I need to give myself.
You've learned
a little bit of
Where was I about to go with that? I think, like, because I'm obviously younger than you and stuff.
Obviously.
We're going into age now. Okay.
I do apologise for that. But, like...
You use the word a lot.
Thanks, guys.
Well, I got called a veteran of martial arts once, and that really that stung. That stung more than this. Don't worry.
Okay,
it's fine.
Yeah. That wasn't like a title for you, no?
No, not at all.
Not yet. It's like, you're a veteran of
well, if she's a veteran, I don't know the fuck I am.
Oh, anyways, yeah, I don't really find... It's all really individual, isn't it? Like, everyone's got different uteruses and so different loads of periods and how long it goes for. Like, I feel like I'm quite blessed in that in terms of it doesn't go for very long and it's not super heavy. Yes, you get the cramps. But for me, I notice that it affects my mood and my motivation more than anything. So the week before, I find it really tough to get myself to training and, like, go to that next level. I'm very comfortable cruising through sessions, which I know isn't good, and so it's just hard for me to like turn it on, like flick that switch to actually go hard and stuff like that. That's usually the week before, and then the week of though, I'm actually pretty okay. Like you said, just being kind to yourself. If you've got some cramps, like maybe just not running or something like that, maybe. Or
you haven't got the whole month.
That excuse will never hold up. It'll never hold up.
Hey, you don't know. But no, like it's up to the individual.
It's a tough one for you guys. Everyone's different, aren't they? But
they are. And
again, someone just has.
The cool thing about it is like I lift weights, so I do my conditioning programs, like my strength conditioning programs every week. Always like routinely do it, and my programs run for like 6-week cycles.
Yeah.
So I always get my period during my cycle of my program, and the week before, I always find my weights go down.
Yeah.
Like my strength is just not there, and I get so angry because I forget, and I'll be like, I lifted heavier than this last week. Why can't I do this? What is going on? I like get so worked up, and then the next week I come back normally with my period, and I'm like, oh, this weight's real easy.
Yeah, damn it.
I went to when I was in like working in a gym, like weights gym. I was going on all these courses like Wayfic, and it was all like different ones you can do, and one was like training females, and I was like, I'm training like loads of girls at the moment in the gym. This would be very interesting to go to. It was when they started talking about the different parts of the cycle, and this one you should be like easing off the weights, and this one you should be doing more of this movement, and more of this one. And I was like, oh my God, I'm just going to train guys from now on. It was so complicated. I was like, wow, there's so much to deal with, and it's like different ways you're supposed to train.
It's a really cool way of thinking about it as like a PT. But how would you navigate asking those questions?
Yeah,
just sit your client down and be like, so when does your cycle start?
Yeah.
When is your luteal phase?
Yeah. Exactly. Just ask. Yeah.
I don't know. Like, if you wanna be an athlete and stuff, like, I just don't think you can be soft about it though. In ways, like, you're not gonna take a whole week off. Like, you're gonna have to train in some way. Like, you shouldn't let it stop you from doing anything. No, I think,
especially not running. Anyway, so next question.
Anyways,
next question. Let's go. What was the next one? Okay, who do they look up to in the MMA world?
I look up to Courtney, actually.
Oh.
I do. She's not my little.
Stop it.
My old gym mum.
she's the old veteran over there.
Yeah, she's the veteran here. I aspire to be like Courtney with my training and be a purple belt.
Oh my God, you're full
day.
of shit.
No, that's my answer. Seriously. So you have to go now.
Oh, okay. I look up to Ren. I don't know, like, there are so many influential MMA female fighters now. Like, when we first started watching UFC, like, all we had was Ronda Rousey, Misha Tate, Holly Holmes. That was pretty much it. And seeing where the sport's, like, adapted to for females is incredible. Like, seeing the performance from then to now is just insane. Like, just the improvement in the sport in females, like the female fighters that there are now, they would make those like veterans look
like nothing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, amateurs. Yeah.
But I think it just goes to show like how well women develop in sports when there's finances that are put in to back them. I've had this conversation actually last weekend with some really well-educated people, and basically they've said that if you back female sports, you put the finances into them, they will improve at a faster rate than what men will do if we have the resources there.
Interesting.
And I think just showing the difference between Ronda Rousey and Holly Holmes and Miesha Tate to where the female fighters are now really kind of demonstrates that over such a short period of time as well. Because, females didn't start in the UFC till like only,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not sure what it is.
But yeah.
So who would you look up to like now, like currently, female fighters?
I got on a tangent. Sorry.
No. I'm just asking. I'm wondering who you look up to the female like fighters now. Let's say UFC or Bellator or whichever. You know.
I think having the opportunity to go and train at Evolve in Singapore with the Panda, Zhang Nan, just seeing the way she trains and her mindset. And then seeing her fights, like I definitely look up to her. Like she's just got what they call like the championship mindset. Like, and you can see that in the way they train. Like she was injured the whole time. She was still there pushing. She was doing it within her capacity, but she was still there every day, pushing and working and taking it seriously. And like this is her job. Like to her, this is 100% her career. This is her job. She is there to defend her title, and she'll put everything in that. To like everything she has to do that, and you can just see it in the way they walk around, in the way they talk to people, in the way they train. Like being able to see that firsthand was very, very inspiring. Like that's definitely who I look up to.
Yeah, definitely.
And then the last question we had.
Ooh.
The last one we had.
We're in a roll. We're doing
exactly. Yeah. How do you balance work / family / romantic relationships and training camps? Let's go first.
Well, I suppose I'm quite lucky because my romantic relationship is at the gym with. Oh, not sorry. Like
which one?
I think you need to start.
Sorry,
some more cameras up there.
So we should edit that out. Sorry. Oh my gosh, I'm getting all flustered now. No, it's really great because Kev is my coach. That's all I wanted to spit out there. Yeah. So in terms of having to spend too long at the gym and then your missus complaining when you get home or something like that obviously doesn't happen between us because I'm there with him, which is amazing. I do absolutely struggle to balance work, and I don't actually think that you can ever figure that out unless you have a job where you've got like set shifts, and once you leave work you're not responsible for anything anymore. Like I feel like your work's not going to be calling you up and being like, hey, what did you put in patient? I don't know actually. I've got no idea what you do at work. I know you save people, but that's it.
So I work as an emergency nurse, and basically I've been there for 8 years. So I've done the full-time shift work, and then after I made the decision that I wanted to pursue fighting, I resigned. So I took up a contract as a casual, and since then I've been kind of trying to figure out the best routine, or like the best timetable for myself to work, to earn enough money, but also to be able to train and not be exhausted. So at this point, I'm really lucky that I've been at the hospital for so long that I'm at like a higher pay grade. But then I've also got to think about I'm also a casual employer, so I get a higher pay grade than that. And then I've worked out that if I just do shift work, so just do night shifts and I just do weekend night shifts, I get the higher rate than that. And I'm really fortunate that I've been able to get to the point where just those 2 shifts a week is enough to pay my bills.
That is
pretty
amazing.
much. So that leaves me with the whole rest of the week to train.
That is so
so in terms of finding like a balance, that's the best I've been able to come up with. However, if you then look at like your personal life and your relationship life, I'm at the gym Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
My partner works Monday to Friday. I'm at the gym Monday to Friday afternoon. That's the time that she
comes home.
Yeah. So we don't see each other until like late at night. And then I work night shifts on the weekend. They're the days that she has off. So I've had to play around and work out with my shifts and her. And we've worked out that if I do certain shifts, I have one night a week. One night a week that we can have date night. So that's set aside to her, dedicated to her, so that I can spend that time with her.
Yeah.
Is that enough? Probably not. But whilst in fight camp...
was that in comments?
Yeah, I know. I'm never going to hear the end of this. At the end of the day, I'm really fortunate that she has been a fighter. She knows what fighters in like what being a fighter entails. So she's done the fight camp, she's done the fight prep, she's had the fight, she knows what it's all about. So when I'm in fight camp, she's really supportive and gives me that leeway to be like, this is my schedule, I need to meet this.
That's good.
When we're at a fight camp though, that's like all bets are off the table. She's like, so you owe me
Exactly.
some more time and attention, please. But yeah, we make it work.
But she's at the gym as well. You know, she gets in the gym. So
so we get some sessions together, which is really nice.
Yeah.
I really enjoy that time as well together, because it's like, this is what I'm passionate about. You know, like this is what I love doing. So if she's there and she's loving it as well, I'm like,
two birds with a stone. Yeah, love it.
Exactly. That doesn't count as a date night, though. I have been told.
Oh really?
Oh really?
I thought so. Yeah.
Say that. I'd pass for us, I reckon. I don't know.
All right. Well, we've hit the 1 hour mark. So that could be it for now, and we'll probably get you back in again for the Cage Confessions after dark. Yeah, so we'll have some whiskies after the fight. We'll have the fight. We'll have the whiskies and everything else. Maybe do it the week after. Oh no, you're the one. You're the second one in it.
Week after.
When are you fighting Ascension? Yeah,
24th.
24th. So we'll do it the week after, before Kev's fight. We'll do it then.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Cool.
So he can be our designated driver.
That's right.
Oh, he'll be. No, he can't drive because he'll be in fight week. He won't be eating anything.
If you're like, where am I?
Yeah, exactly.
All good. All right, guys. Well, thanks for coming in, and I think that was really great. That was good. Brilliant.
Bye.
See you later.